I am back. We are here with Kevin Caliendo, Kevin Spicy, the hot.
That's what I tell him.
Yeah, well, you better fucking tell him something. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing
How are
great,
you?
man. How about you?
I'm here. I'm doing it. I gotta stop pounding on the table because I was told not to.
I'm glad you're here because I think it would have been hard for me to get in without you.
Yeah, I know. Those damn locks, they really do it.
Third floor.
So, you are an actor. Aspiring.
I dabble.
You dabble. How did you get into that, man? Like, I mean, everybody that's been trying to do it, they need to know how the hell did you get into this?
I'm not there yet, but
Oh, you're further than anybody else I know.
I've been doing it for a long time, and really just recently is when things started opening up. I've had an agent for a long time. Gets me a lot of auditions, but you have to go through like hundreds until you get that one, and really I started with extra work because they were always looking for extras, especially in Chicago. You need people in the world, so they I would just keep up on Facebook, and that's where they post really all their work, and networked like crazy, and that's where things just kind of it's a staircase. Yeah, you work, network, try to get remembered in the good way, and work just comes.
How do you prepare yourself for all that though? Like, how do you I guess when it's not the same as acting. I used to do indie wrestling, and how I would prepare for it, because you got to go in front of the crowd. You either got to make them hate you, you got to make them love you. You got to know how to work a crowd. But that's different. That's
almost theater, which
right. That's like the equivalence of doing stand up, or making a speech in public.
Yeah.
Like you have the crowd there, but I think I wouldn't be. I don't know. I think I'd be like a nervous wreck to stare in front of a camera and do the same lines like 78,000 times until you get the perfect one. Like, how do you prepare for that?
Actually, interesting story. All right, but first of all, I commend you because theater is something that I have done as a kid. Tried to, nothing major, but let's just say one of my friends and I had to sing one of the Wizard of Oz songs in front of a whole bunch of people, and we're not singers. All right, let's just say that. But theater, I feel like if you mess up a line or like a movement or your cue or anything like that, you have to pick that up.
Oh yeah.
Whereas when you're on film, let's try it again. Okay, we'll try it again. But it's funny because as an extra, I don't want to say my first. I guess it would be my first. FaceTime in a show, and it was called Underemployed. It didn't make it past the first season, which kind of sucked because it was kind of like Friends of Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that's what I got out of it. But I was working as an extra. Wasn't even supposed to work that day. They just needed people, and I was called. I think it was like the day before, which a lot of times that happens. It's always like the day before when they really need someone, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll go be an extra. I got nothing going on, so I drove down there. In the city, and we probably waited for hours until we were. No. That day it was real quick. All right, we got to go. So I was, walking in the background, walking across the street, same intersection. Do it again. Okay. All right. And it wasn't that long of a shoot, and then all of a sudden the assistant director comes up to me, and to all of us and pulls. Okay, you and the other guy. I mean, he was one of the photo doubles or something for one of the leads. So he knew he was going to get picked. And then he picked me. It's like, all right, you guys are going to, go in the alley, and we're going to do one more shot. And I'm thinking, okay, what? We're walking past the alley. That's me there, too, now.
Look, that's the back of my head.
All right? They set up the scene.
Like Joey Tribbiani. It's my ass!
That's me. I remember those pockets. No, so they set up the shot, and it's me, this guy, that tells us what we're going to be doing, and we're just sitting there playing cards on this old dresser, and the lead comes and put him right in there, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm in the shot. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
And these, so basically the whole scene was, this guy's having a bad day, and he comes up, asks hey, how much you want for this desk, you know? And the guy's like, I don't know, $20. He's like, come on, man, it's all old, you know? And he's like, all right, 10. He's like, all right, pulls the money out. The guy's like, oh shit. Goes down the alley. It wasn't his desk. It was just sitting there, or a dresser, whatever the hell it was. And then he comes up to me. He's like, this isn't his, is it? And I'm a stoner. If you look on IMDb, underemployed, I'm the stoner in alley. That's what they label me as.
Nice.
So he asked me.
Credits, that's
yeah,
great.
you know. So he asks me, it's not his desk, and I just look up at him. I'm just like, oh. And then that was it.
The path was started, man.
I'm like, all right, you gotta start somewhere. I'm like, all right, but it was cool, you know. And I don't know, like I say, just keep doing the best you can, even if you're an extra. I don't care who you are. Like, you just do the best you can.
Right. Somebody's
on camera and behind camera. You just, you know, you follow the rules, do the best you can, and people will remember you.
Oh yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing with with indie wrestling or professional wrestling or any kind of improv or anything like that. You do the best you can.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, at the end of the day, they're either gonna like you or they're gonna hate you.
Yeah.
You know.
Or both.
And then behind the scenes too, you have to have proper etiquette. You have to have, you know, you got to be very mild, very gentle, very, very, sometimes light spoken. Like, you know, don't be too forward. Don't be too aggressive. You know, and wrestlers actually have this handshake where instead of it being a firm handshake, they actually.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
That's how you know. If you ever shake somebody's hand and they shake you like that, they were in wrestling at some point in time.
Oh, that's interesting.
They have like this little handshake. Yeah.
See, the things that we don't know.
Oh, it's the
Unless
small
you're in that
little
industry,
things.
yeah.
It's the small little things.
That's pretty cool.
You know? So, good times, you know. But like, it never went past that. You know, like I didn't pursue it as much as I should have, I suppose, even though I probably could have.
Yeah, well, that makes. I mean, you know, life gets in the way.
Oh, of course.
You know, and it's always like we were talking earlier. It's all about balance, but sometimes the balance is kind of off. Right. Sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And usually, you know, you kind of aim for one side, but.
And I'm sure, you know, I've always wanted to. I always thought myself of trying to get into something like that, but I always thought to myself, well, what if they don't like me? And then that stops me, you know. Like I always give in to my own personal fears, and that's the one thing that that even with this show, you know, I was terrified. The first episode I ever did, I was sweating bullets, and it was just me.
Because it's hot here or what?
Right? And it was just me, you know. And I still get nervous doing these videos, but I like doing these videos now.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. It's like you gotta confront it and slowly build yourself to it.
Become one with the video. I don't know. That's awesome.
But I mean, besides that, like, what else? I mean, I'm sure there's something out there. You know, like, what else have you done?
As far as acting?
Yeah, like I know you've been in some not shirt commercials, but commercials.
Shirtless.
Ooh.
We don't talk about those.
Those videos we can't post here.
So, I've done As far as on screen, last year I had 2 commercials shot on the same day, same company and everything. That was literally we shot. It was one day. I can say it right.
You can say whatever you want.
All right. Off. United Auto Insurance shot 2, different scenes, and that following week, my landlord actually is the first one to see it. Was like, "Is that you?" Text me, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, usually when you do something, you're like, "All right, well, how many months do I have to wait to see this now?" You know. And
oh man, that shit was on the infomercials at 2 a.m.
Yeah, right. And actually, I was up every night trying to catch it because I have not seen it. And they were smart. They shot a whole bunch of different commercials they were going to use. And so I kept catching everyone else's. I'm like, oh, I remember that one. Where's me? And then I finally saw it. And I'm like, yes! And the first line I ever had was one word. Beer. United Auto Insurance.
Hey man,
luckily I didn't have to
that's
sing.
all it is.
Yeah, luckily I didn't have to sing because I'm like, I'm not about to do that. But no, I've gotten so many auditions for the Chicago shows, Fire, PD, Med here and there. I did extra work for Med. But Chicago Fire and PD, I got that close to roles. As far as like last year, Chicago, I don't know which one it was now, but Chicago Fire PD, they were
I think
like,
it was well, no, there was two shows.
Two-
Wasn't there? Chicago PD and Chicago. Wasn't that like two different?
two different ones. Yeah, same universes they're saying, but it was one of the auditions that I had for them that my agent was like, hey, keep this week open or these dates open because right now, like, you need to be available, which usually means they're looking at you.
Yeah, it's a good chance.
Didn't hear back from them.
Womp womp.
And that was a year ago, so I'm guessing I didn't get it. But I mean, it's nice that I'm getting there. It's the same casting director, that keeps this casting company, that's casting director, that I keep getting the I don't want to say offers, but the opportunities from. So I'm like, she must see something to be wasting her time on me.
That or your agent represents like 100 different people, and the
Mm,
only
yeah, I
person
know, right?
he goes through.
Well, right now you're the only one that we got, so
It's either you or the epileptic kid that has seizures
And
every
he
time we
keeps
turn the lights on.
getting he keeps getting it. But no, it's great. And every audition, like when I first started going in for these like bigger roles, shit, what would have been auditions. Every time I go in, I get nervous. I get nervous, and I think about the same thing. I'm about to walk into this door, and they're either gonna like me or they don't. But
But you still do it.
I still do it. As long as I know my lines, that's the biggest one. Actually, I thought, technically, you think when you're going in for an audition, it's like I gotta know this word for word. I gotta know it. But I went in before COVID happened. I went in for these auditions, and the casting director was in the back of the room, and she gave me advice like, you gotta put more movements into it, not just remember the lines. I see you remembering the lines, it's great, but
You gotta
put more.
your face. Yeah, like the same. It's see, that is like the same thing as theater.
Yeah.
You can remember the lines all you want,
But
if you don't have the body movement, the body language, it'll still fall flat.
Yeah. Oh
and,
yeah,
and that's
good.
the difference. That's
Yeah.
the difference between somebody who knows what they're doing and somebody who's just there trying to know what they're doing.
Trying to know, yeah.
And it's all about body language too. If they say we need you to shrug, there's
And you're just like,
and then there's
yeah.
There's,
right. No, that's true.
There's just and then there's there's a lot of shrug and then there's a little bit of shrug.
Yeah.
There's an emotional shrug, and then there's
you're right. No.
I try
Different levels. Different levels of the
Right.
shrug.
And like I can't imagine how excited you are when they're like, you got it.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
Really?
What?
What do you need me to do? You just got to say one thing.
Yeah.
I will say anything.
Anything, and do anything. This other show I did last year, Southside, that was one of those things that was very last minute. It was something that I initially applied for. Is when you see featured extra, when you've been an extra for a long time, and you see featured, you're like, this is it. Like, this could be it.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they're like, I'm gonna throw you a couple lines too. That didn't happen, but that's okay. But it was last minute. They're like, yeah, what happened is that they weren't gonna shoot it, and now they're gonna shoot it. So can you be there tomorrow? And I had no work. I didn't have the kids. I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. So that was pretty cool. And then not only that, but I got to. It was all about movements, but I got to improvise my movement, and I had the director laughing. Like, he was like, or the producer, I'm sorry, but the producer was like, what's your angle here? And I told him, I'm like, well, he did this. This is what happened there. I want to do this. And he was just like, go with it. And I'm like, yes. So I went with it.
See, and
When you get to play around.
Right. Well, I actually have that clip. I'm gonna take a look at it. We're gonna
do?
Oh, I do. Convenient movie magic.
Interesting.
So we're gonna go ahead and try to check that out. See what that looks like.
All right.
God, I screwed up already. Sorry, folks. I'm new at this. Don't be mad at me.
I remember my first time.
I know, right? Oh, I screwed up. Nope. There we go. There you are.
Yes, me. And that's my dad. That's my brother. And that's a bottle. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
That jump kick.
That all me.
All me.
Look at you.
And it's funny too because when they were pulling out the mat, the stunt mat, they kept saying like, "Are you sure? Are you sure? You're comfortable with this?" I'm like, jumping. And I didn't know. I kept thinking like I was they put the mat so close to me and you're gonna want to fall onto this mat. And I'm like I'm not like diving. I'm just doing a little jump. And I kept thinking like maybe I should jump higher or like jump normal. But I was so worried about tripping onto that mat because I'm like I'm gonna end up falling onto that mat because the mat is like 5 feet away from me. But I think it turned out cool. We green screened it and everything. We weren't all in that same jump or fight scene, but I think it came out pretty cool. And that's on Comedy Central, South Side. Good times.
Oh, I see.
So now I do my own stunts.
See, so you're like Tom Cruise, you do it all yourself.
Oh yeah, Top Gun.
I want to do that. I really wanted to show that other video, but I keep forgetting I can't because it has a child in it, and I don't want to.
Oh.
These videos aren't fucking friendly at all.
You watch when you're older.
Yeah, we'll give you a link to that one. It's an adorable video, don't get me wrong, but I can't do it.
We just like put our hand up to him.
Yeah, no, but that's like the best part. Well,
I know he is.
Well, I'll put a link in the description.
Okay.
Make sure that
Check it out.
you can plug yourself at the end of the video and whatnot.
I'm always posting stuff with that kid.
And like, see that always interested me. Like I've always wanted to dabble into that stuff, but I always had that that mental block where it's like, man, nobody's gonna like me. Nobody's gonna think this is cool. I don't want to do it. But then that would stop me. But then I would regret, and that's my main issue is that falling into that regret. So you just gotta keep going, and you gotta keep doing it, and keep doing it.
Yeah. That's the hard part that a lot of people don't get. And like I gave up for a while. I was starting a family, and I kind of had to choose between one or the other. And I did. Like I had that, like I said, the scholarship to Second City.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You did the Second City thing.
I ended up going, but it wasn't with no free scholarship. As I chose against it because I'm like, my family, a lot more important than this right now, and I gotta figure that out. But then I had the opportunity. So by the time that I was like, you know what, let me see if I still got that scholarship because it wasn't the first class I signed up for. They didn't have enough people, so they canceled it, and so they were getting a whole new system put in Second City, and my scholarship was just deleted. So they're like, there's nothing in here with your name, and I'm like, of course. So I'm like, that's fine. It's kind of like fate. I ended up paying it out of my pocket because I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it, at least one class just to see, and it was great. It was awesome. But it was so cool to have that scholarship offer because it's Second City. It's a big deal.
Right.
And SNL is one of my favorite shows. It is, yeah. But I had nothing to lose, I'm like, I wrote just the most memorable, letter, because they were having this contest, I guess. I don't know the whole thing, but it was like, they were giving out so many scholarships for one free class, and then kind of like sit you down after the class to see, this is for you and help with financial aid and all that. And I'm like, I just wrote to the point where, about me being a dad, how I kind of gave up acting for a while, but this is what I've done, and now I'm getting back into it. But I ended it with, P.S., I did not cry during this whole letter. Maybe a little. That's how I ended it. And they told me in the acceptance letter saying, like, that was such a great letter, and I don't write. But it was memorable, and we want to offer you this scholarship. I'm like, yes,
That's awesome.
because I don't win nothing.
You appeal to their better nature.
Yeah. I try to make it as SNL as possible. There's like,
Do I appeal to your better nature?
Sorry, kid. You don't.
I don't do that.
Name that reference.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, so it was just, I don't know. It's hard to keep going for, but.
So you got any projects you're working on now?
So as far as acting,
Anything.
in
Doesn't
general,
matter.
I'm always doing something. That's it's I don't know. It could be, my superpower. It could be my kryptonite. I don't know, because I'm always doing something. Because I always have these ideas. So, in April, I am shooting a Western pilot. I play the deputy. So
So
spikes aren't going to be there.
do they need somebody to play the hanging man? That's not bullshit, all right? Everybody knows what would happen to me if I was in a Western.
Well, I'll lock you up for a little bit, but I could find out.
Yeah, but at noon, I'm done.
Yeah. High noon.
It's over with for me, son.
Yeah, I'm like, a Western. It sounds awesome. The concept's amazing, and, so I can't talk a lot about it, but...
It sounds very interesting.
It's,
It's really,
I never thought I'd be, even offered a Western spot, but I'm like...
So you gotta give him an accent, too?
They said if you can, or if you can't, doesn't matter. I'm like, I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens.
Son, you don't better get yourself a good accent. Because if you don't, you're gonna find yourself in the noose instead of using the noose.
That's a lot better than what I was gonna go with. Hey, Paul, here I'm a deputy now.
You would, the town idiot. How y'all doing? Hey!
They gave me a gun and everything.
Pow, pow, pow!
Oh, I see bloopers code. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man, I could see it now.
Yeah, but no, I mean that's my next thing, and
That's
after
exciting.
that, honestly, I'm gonna question it though. I'm gonna question if this is like still a route I want to do, because I don't know. It's fun, but like I have had,
Don't stop, man.
I don't know,
I think if you haven't stopped up until this point, I don't think you will.
no.
Because I mean, if it's your passion, you shouldn't stop. You shouldn't give up on what you're doing.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
That's the thing. Though. I mean, passions change, and I was giving up for all the right reasons.
Right, and trust me, there are a lot of people in this world right now who are not giving up on what they want in life.
That's true.
Prayers for Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Don't give up on what you want, man. Never give up on that. You got to keep going. Like, if this is your passion, just go. I mean, you don't want to be bagging groceries your whole life.
No.
Actually, I correct myself. They don't even fucking bag groceries at Aldi, you bastards.
Oh,
they
for
make you
life.
do it yourself.
Or grab a box.
You get a box. You gotta buy a bag. Don't even play. And then go to the line. Go to the back. Go to the front of the line or the front of the bench, and you bag your shit yourself.
Over there. Just get out of here.
But I mean,
for love of God, give us change.
for the love of God, can we have more than 30 in the register?
This isn't working for me anymore.
And that's good. I mean, you're balancing everything correctly. I feel like you've got yourself a job. You're making that work.
Yeah.
You've got yourself a awesomely gorgeous looking son, man. He looks just like you, literally just smaller. If I can condense you into about this big, you would look just like your son.
He's got
You're
a
about
better
the
beard
same
than me
height,
now.
but it's. No, I can't even say that. You're about almost as tall as I am.
Yeah.
Probably a little taller. What are you, like 6 foot? 5'11"? I'm
On a good day.
I'm just laying down.
Oh no, I'm 5'9".
No, you really?
Yeah.
You're wearing boots.
I'm wearing boots.
That's
I'm
why-
wearing boots.
To be fair, I'm not wearing any shoes at all. As a matter of fact, this is just it's like a magical illusion. I'm actually not even wearing pants.
I got it. That's what I feel on my ankle.
It is what it is. Don't fight it.
Oh my gosh. I could crank my. I have a booster seat too, so that helps.
How's that?
No, this is more accurate.
Yeah.
He's come down to my level.
I know. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Gosh, that's funny.
That is
Yeah.
exciting,
Yeah,
though,
I'm
man.
always-
That's really exciting. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, you're balancing everything the way you want. You know, and
Yeah.
eventually it's gonna work for you.
I hope so.
You know, I mean, like,
I have like 18 different projects happening all at once. Like, I mean, being the dad, that's the best thing right now, you know. But I have to work, so
oh yeah,
you know, I got my jobs, which I won't give up, you know, obviously, because I got to give that kid the best life I can.
oh absolutely.
You know?
Me being a father of 3, I understand.
Yeah, you
completely.
get it, you know,
I
and
understand completely.
we
I
do
know.
whatever it takes, and you know, as parents in general. So my Instagram right now is like my big thing where I post all my videos with him, all my fun videos.
Plug that shit.
Oh hell yeah! The Dadsy. Actually, it's nice and easy. Nice and easy to remember. Instagram, the Dadsy. I have 3 Instagrams, but I post everything throughout that one.
Spell that out for them because I'm pretty sure people are like,
I know, the Dadsy. How many Y's?
is that a triangle?
It's just the THE Dadsy DADZI. Try and keep it simple.
I can follow.
Yeah, check it out because my son and I we try and post as goofy videos, pictures, whatever we can. But I also am trying to showcase T-shirts that I do, just graphics. We go through a third party for manufacturing. I like to draw, so we do that. And now I've just learned about NFTs. You know what about NFTs, the non-fungible tokens?
Not
Yeah.
at all. All right, so
Right?
explain that.
So that is completely new. But I'm like, I've seen the ones that are selling for a lot of money. Not like I'm trying to get rich off of it, but you know, I've done art for a long time. You know, but mostly character work. And my son and I are always drawing cartoons that we love. And I've seen NFTs, and the most popular ones are cartoon characters. So I'm like, all right. So my first project I posted on, it's actually easy. It's NFT Dadsy. But like I said, if you follow the Dadsy, you'll see me post things about that. It is called Cat in the Box. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I renamed it. It's Feline Imagination. We got 2 cats. I grew up as a dog person, but I've had 2 cats for the longest time. So
Isn't that
this
weird how that works?
Yeah, right, right. But the first cat that I ever had, since I moved out on my own, he acted like a dog. So I'm like, cats are kind of cool. So it's a cat in the box.
Because you don't have to take care of
I know. They take care of me sometimes. No shit.
Right.
And I could share a can of tuna with them, and they love me. That's nice.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
the bond there.
you know?
See the bond there.
Maybe they like fish, who knew? But yeah. So the first NFT that project that I'm going right now, I have probably like 10 of them. And it's just the simple cat in the box. You just see like his face, and it's all these different just imaginations. So like the latest one I just did is Starbucks with the caramel macchiato.
Carmen Miyake.
Macchiato, and he's just a little, of course, Starbucks looking guy, but it's Starbucks, you know. And I'm like, I got all these freaking ideas, you know. Cat in the box.
Hey,
What are they thinking about? They love boxes,
Something's gonna catch on,
right?
You know, eventually something will catch on.
Yeah, so that's what I got posted right now. Like I said, if you follow the Dadsy on Instagram, you're going to see all of this anyways.
All right.
But it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
Even just the goofy videos my son and I do, like, it's worth a watch. So
He really wants to get famous.
follow me.
See, that's exciting. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Like honest, like as a father, you know, me and my son, we do like the commando thing. We get the
Okay.
Nerf guns and we'll post up around the house.
Hell yeah.
And we'll pick on his sister. You know, we will
Kick the
ambush
door
her.
in.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the door's actually broken because we did that.
Nerf or nothing. Right?
Oh, it nerfed.
Something.
It was she got nerfed, but you know she learned how to fight back. She keeps one of those little automatic ones with battery packs.
No
Pop, pop, pop,
way.
pop, pop. Yeah.
Packing.
Oh man, I love it.
That's cool. That's awesome.
See, and it's like being a father. Like that's like those moments you live up to. Like
Yeah.
those are the moments you live for. Those tiny, small, and to everybody else's eyes, they're small, but to
Yeah.
you, they're gigantic.
Oh, absolutely.
Because those memories are the ones that stick.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's good to get your son out there and used to being a goofball, used to being in front of the camera or in front of people, and so that
yeah.
gets rid of the nervous aspect of life.
Of
you know?
life, yeah. Not of anything specific.
So
just
then
life.
he's gonna grow up believing, knowing that he can do it,
Yeah.
not wondering if he should do it.
That's true.
So
That's a good point.
So you got yourself. You've already opened that path for him, and even if you yourself don't make it, I can almost guarantee he will.
He has
Like
an
if-
option then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if he grows up to look anything like you, God forbid, if he grows up to look anything like you,
Like me?
yeah. But you know, like it's like really that's the best part, man. Just to see the creativeness.
Yeah.
Like let them explore their imagination. Let them hurt themselves. Let
Yeah.
them go out there and do what they got to do. You know, that's why I mean, I don't really mean to get political, but or talk about real life issues, you know, but like
It's a big one these days.
That's kind of how I felt like when they were trying to separate everybody, put them in masks, restrict them from doing this and that, and it's like I was never on board with that.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those guys that are like, there is no virus. The vaccine is fake. All right, no, there's a virus, and the vaccine is there. I don't give a fuck if you get it or not. I don't give a fuck if you wear your mask or not.
Yeah.
That's on you. That's your own personal choice.
Right? Yeah.
But my thing is when they were forcing the kids to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really aggravated me.
Oh,
Is
pissed me
when
off. Yeah.
when your child comes to you and is crying because he can't express who he is or do
Yeah.
anything, that killed me, because that is the whole point of being a child, is to be able to express yourself
Oh yeah.
freely, however they want, you know, and that's a huge part of their development too.
Yeah.
Because if you stifle that, what happens? Then your child becomes very. I'm trying not to sound like an asshole, but it's like
Out the window.
all right, like fuck it. But it's like you can't stop a child from being the imaginative genius that they are,
Yeah. Right.
because kids' imaginations are absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like the shit that they say on their own randomly, it like they absorb everything like a sponge, like
Yeah, they do.
with your son, for example.
Mhm.
You're outgoing, you're very you're bright, you're always, every time I see you, you're always smiling. It doesn't matter, I feel like it doesn't matter what you're doing or what's going on, you always have this smile on your face. Like when I snuck up on you that one time, and I don't, you probably didn't see me since fucking high school.
Yeah.
You know, I snuck up on you and I'm like, give me your money. You know, like,
Yeah.
you were like, what the and then when you like
Come on,
see
man.
me, you were like, hey.
I was like, come on, I'll get you a job.
No. I'm better than that.
Oh, I hated there so much.
Believe it or not, I do rim jobs for a living. Yes.
Yeah.
I refurbish aluminum alloy rims. But, you know,
I've seen him at work.
it's a dirty job, but only this guy's got to do it. You know, and it's like, you know, and you know, I started looking you up, and I was like, oh man, this guy's doing a lot.
Trying.
He's doing a lot.
I'm constantly, like I said, I've had people tell me that that's such a bad idea for as much as I do.
Never listen to those
You
people.
know, I'm like, I
I've
have an
learned
idea.
that.
I'm gonna try it. I don't know.
Right, exactly.
Life is way too short. I don't know what I'm doing, but
This channel would not exist if I would have listened to everybody.
yeah.
Like, I literally, there's only two people. One I don't talk to anymore. That's another story for another time. But the other one has helped me full-heartedly, financially. He's putting money into this. I you call it a company, if you will. You know, it's a
It
channel.
is.
That's what I'm treating
It's a
this as.
company.
It's like I'm treating it as if it's in my own company.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
paying me, so it's a company.
What? I didn't agree to this. Your agents over there like. Tim, what the fuck, bro? She's over there like, oh, did we not explain to him?
What was in the contract? What contract?
we signed a contract?
Oh shit.
You know, but like, you seem to, like, you had your shit together, you know? It's like, it impressed me. That's why I came to you about this. It's like, you know what? I need this guy on this show. Like,
appreciate
I
it.
want him here because he's got a lot to talk about, you know? And like you basically still, like, even though I'm sure there was so many roadblocks on different levels too, because there's some small roadblocks, and then you have certain gigantic roadblocks that give birth to your children, and then you have like littler roadblocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
There's always going to be, no matter
there's
what you
always
do.
something there to stop you from trying to be you.
A lot of times it's you. Not you, not you now. I mean, in you. Stop!
You can't do this. You know, and like, I'm not like super religious and like into that kind of aspect, but I do believe that God, he has chosen this path for you. So if you feel that you should continue doing it, that means that you should continue doing it.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't let one failure stop you from doing it. That's like, you know, that's Jordan Peterson said something like this, where it's like, just because you were defeated, just because you lost, it's not the end of your life. It's not the end of everything. You just lost. You still played the game.
Mm-hmm.
You still tried. You still gave it your all. So you got defeated. You know what you do? You gather your things, you study the film, and you get right back at it the next day.
Hell yeah.
And you keep going. You cannot stop. I can't stress that enough, man. Don't stop. You have to keep going. Because this is obviously something you love to do.
It's fun, you know? Like, every day is different. I love being on set. I almost ran over Vince Vaughn, actually. I forgot to mention that one.
Yes, you
Yeah.
Vaughn, huh?
You know who he is?
No.
Let me call him real quick.
I'm on my way.
No, I completely forgot. The one of... Actually, I think this might have been my first extra gig. Was I had a Camaro at the time, and he was shooting... oh, shit, what's it called? The one with Kevin James. Oh, my gosh, what's the name of that?
Vince Vaughn. I had a brain fart for a second. Now I remember.
It was called Cheaters when we were first shooting it. The Dilemma. Oh my gosh, how did I forget that? I'm sorry. Sorry, Ron
Please
Howard.
hire me.
I'm sorry, Vince. I don't have the car anymore, so... Yeah, no, so I was hired to bring... Oh, not hired to bring the car on, but I was like, oh, I got a car, I could use it. You know, get like extra $25 bump. That was gas. So...
Grand total of $27 he made that day.
Right? But it was the craziest thing, and I honestly, talk about almost being pushed away from doing it anymore. My first time as an extra, and I'm like, oh, Vince Vaughn is here, that's cool, you know, and is he here, or is this just like extra BS, you know? I think we waited 8 hours until we were called to set as an extra, getting paid like $75 or whatever the hell it was. And I'm like, I was ready to fall asleep. Like, I'm tired, you know? So we get called down there, and people are pulled, what are you doing, and they're talking about the scene, and I'm like, oh shit, Vince Vaughn is here. So they're like, all right, you guys are going to be the servers, you're going to be patrons in this restaurant, you're going to be cooks and all this stuff, and you go outside.
You're
I'm like,
in the back.
shit, I don't want to drive my car anymore. But actually it was cool because I think, this is when he's like pulling into the restaurant. This is the scene we're shooting. So they're trying to make the restaurant look busy. He pulls into the alleyway, and I'm just driving my Camaro, which you don't even see, by the way. Which is funny because Ron Howard supposedly was like, yeah, you know, I had one of the crew guys in with me, just, I don't know, I guess to tell me when to go. And he's like, yeah, Ron Howard just said your car looks great on camera. I'm like, that's great. I want to meet him.
Fucking
I
awesome.
want to meet him. You see the final shot, you don't know what the fuck is the car. Like, you just see him pulling in, and it just... But Ron Howard was obviously behind the camera, one side of the street, the restaurant was on the other. And, you know, shoot the scene. Back to one, so I'm just reversing down the street, and my car was loud. I had that exhaust done, you know? And so I'm just reversing. I'm like, this is alright, and I speed back, because I want to go fast. And then I look in my rearview mirror, and I just see him go. He's like on my hood, on my trunk, and it's like, oh.
So you almost killed Ron Howard?
No, Vince Vaughn.
Oh, you almost killed Vince Vaughn?
Tall guy, great guy. I rolled down my window, and I'm just like, my bad, Vince. And I keep reversing.
Hey, can you get the fuck out of the way, please.
Who are you? No.
This
And-
car has to be in the shot.
Right? I'm like, okay, well, I
That
fucked
is
up.
great.
I'm like, I'm gonna be fired and probably never called again for anything, but I mean, he was cool. I wasn't going that fast. You know, enough to look in the rearview mirror and see Vince Vaughn. I'm like, how many people could say that? Nobody.
That's awesome. That's...
Nobody. Another one, when I was on Shameless. Yeah. Not on it, but Jimmy Steve. That was his stand-in. you know Jimmy Steve.
The back of the head thing?
Yeah, pretty much. But no, and that was cool, because the first day on that set was, it was just 1 week that we shot. But it was his last episode, so that's why it was like
That's
1
right.
week.
They did shoot that almost that whole
The
thing
exterior's
in
here.
Chicago, right?
Yeah, exterior's here. The house is here. The inside of the house is in California. Crazy. But we were shooting at the
Movie
house.
magic, baby.
I know, right? They could do anything. I remember the one day on set, which kind of is one of those things that, like, somebody tells you, maybe don't be yourself.
Mhm.
Another one of the stand-ins, because someone was walking past and saying hi. Oh, no, I mean, it was William H. Macy was walking by, said good morning. Nobody said anything. And then here's me, good morning! Like, real loud, and this girl's like, maybe you shouldn't, talk so much on set. But he turned to me and smiled and nodded his head and kept walking. I'm like, maybe you should talk, because that was kind of rude.
Right,
You don't go like that, but she said not to talk. I'm like, how?
You know, I can see why they're uptight too. Some of those people, their job specifically is to control the environment.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they if you blink wrong, sir, less blinking, more staring. You know, what's the perfect example? There's like a superhero show. I think it's Homeland. No, well, Homelander is the guy. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh shoot! I love that show too.
Oh man,
I've been waiting
talk
for it to
about
come back
brain
on.
fart. But
I know.
but the one girl who is in charge of doing everything for them, she's
Yeah.
like the secretary.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is. You
That
you can
basically
see the
is.
frustration in her face when she's like,
That's
why don't you go
funny.
give me a coffee?
Yeah.
She just wants to lose her shit.
I'm sure she did at some point.
The hell was that?
Putting up a new stop sign. I hear.
Right? Like,
Everybody stop!
it was like right next to me. What was
Oh.
that?
They make horror movies that start like this.
Right?
Who's
Yeah.
tapping? Tap tap taparoos. Oh yeah,
man,
so that was fun.
I can imagine. I
Yeah.
cannot believe you almost fucking hit Vince Vaughn. We're
know.
gonna fact check that, or at
He
least
hasn't
try
called
to.
me
Somebody
since.
get Vince Vaughn on the line.
He hasn't called me since, so I think he's mad. Holding
I
a
mean,
grudge.
I'd be a little mad if
He didn't
you
have my number
hit
either,
me
but-
with your car.
Oops. This is a nice car.
Yeah. So, and like, when it comes, oh man, see, that's exciting. That's exciting. Like, I can't even like fathom how much shit came out of you when you thought you almost hit Vince
Yeah,
Vaughn. Like,
I was just like,
oh no!
Did my seat just get warm?
You laid enough bricks to fucking build a wall.
Right? Or at least hiding when he comes looking for me.
Oh, I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
I'd well, my acting career is done.
Yeah, so that was a quick one right there. But no, he's real freaking nice. Like, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in life. You know, like,
Oh,
he
wow.
actually came out to make sure that he said hi to everybody. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there like, hope he doesn't remember that time that I was running him over a few minutes ago.
Comes back, walks by you, stops.
Hey, what, how you doing?
You're the
Except
guy
for
with the fucking car.
No, it was
That's
that guy with the
exciting.
car. No, that was so, those little memories, take those with me.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
You
that's
know?
the best part. You
Yeah.
know, like you'll never forget that.
Yeah, right?
Whether or not you make it or not, you still tried.
Yeah.
You know, you still did it.
It's fun. Like I was getting back to, every day is different. And, I mean, like, I work in Aldi right now. That's my COVID job. Get over it. But box your own shit.
Yeah, get
All
over
these
it. I'm
sales,
not
I gotta
touching it.
box it. Yeah. But no, so...
We stock it, you box it.
Well, it's the same shit every day. Every day. It gets boring, And when I was working on sets, it doesn't matter if it was the same shows, whatever I was working on, every day was different. And that's what I want my life to be. I want to go into work and, like, oh, what are we doing today? What's happening? And that's why I loved it every day. When I was actually working more so. I worked this Bollywood film too, just as an extra.
A
Bollywood film. It's called Doom.
Please tell me you were the guy that did this.
Actually, yeah, we had to do this big thing at Navy Pier. We had to do this dance off, and my buddy and I were just like,
That's awesome.
we're like, we don't give a
You
shit.
were
Like,
the whitest guy
Yeah.
there.
but it was so funny because they had so many people every day, whether you were seen or not. My buddy and I would show up in suits most of the time.
That's awesome.
Like, we're just living, and that's where, Chi-Town on the Rocks.
Mhm.
A show that my buddy and I were writing, trying to get off the ground. The only thing is, we had that mindset for a little while, like, well, what if we don't make it, or, I shouldn't say it like that. We were pretty confident that we were basically playing ourselves as extras,
Mhm.
The whole concept of that was, we were two Chicago actors, we loved living the nightlife, we were so unprofessional, because we already thought that we were hot shit.
Gotcha.
So, like, one of the scenes were us as extras in the background on a beach. Everybody was in beach wear. We were in suits, just walking around. People were like, "What the fuck are you doing, walking around in suits?" Like, don't worry about us. Don't worry, But every season that we would write, we didn't write a lot of seasons, but the plan was to every season we actually grew better as actors and men. Like, we weren't.
Oh yeah.
So it was like you were growing with us, and by the end of it, we actually got our stardom. It would have been great. But now he's in Hawaii. How much is a ticket from Hawaii to here? Because I will get you. I'll just send an Uber.
Yeah. Uber airline.
Uber boat. I'll pick you up.
Lyft Airlines. There you go.
That's when Uber works with Lyft.
There you go. They came
So,
together for
yeah.
avionics.
And that part still kind of lives with it. We wrote a couple episodes. We shot like this random. There were no lines in it, but we shot this like kind of a preview, or it would have been kind of like the intro to it, kind of a teaser. And we didn't do anything with it. But the biggest thing that kept us is we're like, well, we have like one camera, we don't really have any equipment, and we kept thinking like,
Trust me, I know.
check that mic stand.
Don't you make fun of my
I like
nightstand. It is literally a lamp. I don't want to move it because I'd screw everything up if I touched it. But it is literally an old bendable lamp, completely gutted, with a microphone duct taped around it, and it works for me.
That sucker ain't going nowhere.
It ain't
All right.
going nowhere.
But
It
no,
works
that's
for me.
a good point of what I'm trying to get at, is that we should have just used our phones. Recording would
Oh
have been
yeah, I mean,
shit.
and nowadays, man, these phones are fucking
Yeah,
incredible.
I know.
They're as good as cameras, and back in the day, we were worrying about the big giant high eights
Yeah,
and
we're like,
trying
we
to
don't have
lug it
the right-
around,
yeah.
and it was harder back in those days.
Yeah, but It's Always Sunny. They shot with, I think they had like a crappy $300, not even $300, probably like $50 camera. I forgot. I read about them a long
Like
time
a
ago.
big
I
ass,
love that
it's
show.
One of those Canon.
Yeah, they just used
photography
whatever they
cameras,
had.
Yeah,
and it wasn't the best quality, but they did it because they were trying to showcase themselves, not what they could afford.
Right.
And we should have done that. We would have been, had something to show.
See, and that's what happened. That if got in the way.
Yeah.
The if
And you
got in the way.
cannot let the if get in the way. You gotta fuck that if.
But it's the
You
truth
really do,
though. The
yeah.
if once the if starts getting in the way, it's really hard to move it.
It grows in you
Because
too.
it is. It's like a plague.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's a good example. It's almost like depression. Once that if gets in your head,
Yeah.
that's all you're thinking about. What if? What
That's
if?
true,
What
too.
if? It could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing.
Yeah.
It could sway either way, and it's like a swing in a park. It's constantly swinging back and forth. Like, oh, what if they don't like me? Or what if they do like me?
All right.
But then eventually,
I gotta be better.
eventually the other if comes in, and the other if takes control, and it's like that's when you start to like, maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not such a good idea.
Right. You
And then right
overthink.
when that happens, it's over.
Yeah.
And once you lose that, it's hard to get it back.
Yeah.
I'm writing a project, and it's one of those what if things, and I have a very, weird sense of humor, especially when it comes to like history and goofy shit.
Don't say.
But
I'm actually jealous. I need to
I,
dress up next time.
I would let you wear the coat. I don't let people wear the coat very much, but you look like you're about my size, and I don't want you to rip it with your guns, you know? You mean your fat flab arms?
That's all I really got.
The base of the story is two guys from the Roman Republic.
Okay.
Back in like 300 whatever BC or whatever. Something happens where they're magically transported to here in current day, current time. And they have to literally learn everything.
That's interesting.
And as they're going, they start they learn how to do, they learn how the world works and, the goods and the bads of it. And and all the people that they meet, all the characters that they meet are going to be the exact same characters that lived in the past with them, but it's descendants of these people.
I was about to say, yeah, I was waiting for that. That's cool.
So
Dude.
And one character specifically, he's like the king of one of the German tribes or whatever. And we were at war with him in the past because it's going to go back and forth.
Shit, yeah.
So we were at war with him in the past, but then when we came into this world, he's like a service advisor at a mechanic shop.
That's dude.
And as one of the characters in the scene, he walks up to he's wondering because it says, the sign said lube job, this and that, and in a Roman standpoint, when they're gonna give you a lube job, that's when they come up to you and they start like scraping your arm and taking like the sweat off your body and everything.
Oh, really?
Like that. So
he's doing that.
So the Roman character goes up to this guy and fully expects this, but then the service rider is like, huh? But
Dude.
the funny thing is the service driver, he knows these guys.
That's cool.
So all these characters that they're meeting and all the people that they're meeting, it's like they're fucking with them.
That's
they,
cool.
they it's like he's gonna know who they are because he's like, wait a minute, you guys look familiar. He's gonna open up a history book and be like, nah. But then, us being in character, we're probably going to be in complete gear, like complete Roman toga, everything. It's, we're not going to know.
Yeah, right.
Like,
right.
We might get stopped by the police. Like, what the hell are you wearing? Yeah. What are you talking about?
Oh,
but and that's just the one particular scene that I've gotten so far. But I want to expand on that. And
they could. That's
good.
And
it could work because. Not only you can have like historical facts on it, but you got nothing but comedy to come with it. Yeah. Because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a comedy.
That's
almost like a dramatic comedy because it does get serious.
Okay.
It does eventually start to get serious, but it does still keep the comedic aspect of it.
Oh, you could get serious about it. You could get emotional because when they
Exactly.
realize that their friends are gone.
Oh yeah, everything.
Family
Everybody's
and all
gone, and then they realize, all right, let's make this work.
Are you going to explain how they get here?
I have no idea just yet.
That's
because I mean that's when you have to dip into the fantasy.
Bill and Ted thing right there.
Yeah, right. You got to dip into the fantasy aspect of it. I mean, I was thinking of maybe I can go the way of Encino Man.
Yeah.
They fell into like some ice somewhere, got frozen, and then defrosted,
okay.
Or I can do. There's this gigantic collider, like atom collider thing underneath France. So I can do something with that.
Oh, that's cool too.
What's it called? A hadron collider, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can work that in there where they did something and then like dimensions formed and then only me and this guy got brought over because we just happened to be standing in the field in France or something. Oh. Because we all know the Romans, they fucking went everywhere.
Right.
So that could work. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really, got into that.
What would be cool, too, not to change anything.
No, I take all
you see
advice.
Like, leader enemies, and they're in a field because they're about to, like, not go at war, but, like, they're, like, fighting in a field or something, arguing. Like, we're going to fucking come to get you, blah, blah, blah. And they're the ones to transport you. So not only are they enemies, but they got to learn to get along.
See, that could work.
That's interesting.
That could work. Oh man, I'm gonna write that in there. That's a good idea.
When you said in a field, I'm like, man, what are they talking about? What are they doing in the
Like,
field?
what are they doing in a field?
like,
Well,
what
what
is-
were the Romans doing in a field? Probably killing your entire race.
Right?
let's not mince
Bastards.
words. These guys didn't give a
Dude,
fuck who
yeah.
you were.
You could do so much with that.
Yeah, and it's like I'm a big history guy. I'm big on like especially the Roman Republic.
Yeah.
I love learning about it, and it's like I just thought that would be so interesting to take somebody that's at the pinnacle of their civilization
That's yeah.
and then get transported into what we believe as our pinnacle of civilization. You know what I mean?
And then they gotta adapt.
Right? Season 2.
Yeah.
3022. And we could just keep going from there.
That's man.
Season
You can do a lot
4
of that.
start date 43222.
Right.
Like that, but again, that's what I mean. It's like I'm not gonna let the if stop me from doing this.
No.
I'm gonna keep working on it, and I'm gonna eventually maybe, who knows? Like, if I get it going good enough, I'll make it a YouTube show.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. Like, don't get me wrong. I would love to make money off of this, but I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because I like doing it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't need money to do this. I want the fun out of it, the experience.
It's amazing, yeah. Like I had fun with our show, but I love ideas like that where you could do anything and
Right.
it would make sense in that world because anything can happen.
Exactly.
I love that,
There's no restriction on what you can put in it,
Yeah.
because once you take the reality of out of it,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you can do whatever the hell you
Whatever
want.
the hell you want.
It doesn't even matter, and
That's
it'll
cool.
always make sense because it's your story.
Yeah.
Like just like how what did you say you were doing, like what did you say earlier, that project you did?
The NFTs?
I'm having a brain fart.
Oh.
Where but like you damn, like I really have a bad memory. Rewind it.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
take it
let's
back,
go back.
take it back. But but like you go in there and you give it your all,
Mm-hmm.
and you just see what happens,
Yeah.
because nobody knows what the future has for us.
Yeah.
Period. Especially in this world. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I have a little problem with this world. But
Go back and watch. We'll wait.
like and yeah. Right now, what are you waiting for?
Go!
I don't see a click rate. All right, but
Kick their asses.
Right. Listen, laddie.
Let me get back to you.
Actually, I can't even call you a lady anymore. Listen, Zadie. I don't even know what that means.
Or making shit up. I don't care.
Listen. Insert whatever the fuck you are here.
Right there. Just insert.
Yeah, right.
No, that's the whole thing about any kind of project like that, any film, TV. If you don't have the imagination, you can't keep, like, any story you see in the movies now. It comes from somebody's idea.
Oh,
Absolutely. And I'm sure they had doubts too. I'm sure there's been plenty of like rewrites and
Oh yeah.
half the
There's no such thing as a
greats.
script that was written that wasn't tweaked
Oh, yeah.
at some point in time.
guarantee it, and well, especially like even if you're doing a YouTube, especially if you're doing a YouTube series on something, you know how much improv you could do. The whole thing that I was doing Chi-Town on the Rocks with my friend John, we were to the point after writing. I think we were like only 3 episodes in. Of it was going to keep getting rerun, and I told him, we told each other, we're like, we could probably just ad-lib most of these episodes, because we were like writing stuff down and like, oh, what if this happened? What if this happened? And we're like, we should just go and live life in Chicago with somebody following us, and that would be like the episode, but we kept questioning. We were confident about the acting part. It just we were so worried about the technical side. Like, well, we gotta try and get some cameras. We gotta try and get boom mics and this and that.
And what I've learned doing this and everything is you really only need one camera.
True.
Because
true. Yeah, that's
honestly, you can get multiple as long as you have a good program where you can edit multiple videos at once in and out, or have something where You can shift back and forth. You know, like this, the program that I'm using with this.
Yeah, this is-
You know, it's like as long as you have a good program to do all that with, you really just need one camera.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't matter how long. Like, I know, I get it. More cameras mean the faster the shot goes,
Right.
and it goes a lot faster. But when somebody's just doing something to start off with, that one camera is going to make your show seem so fucking unique
Yeah.
and so well put together. Why? Because you're taking the time to do every single shot, and because you only have one camera, you make that motherfucker work.
Oh yeah. And you got the time. If you're trying to get,
with one
anything
camera,
out there,
you better have you're going to have the
yeah,
time
we'll
with the
shoot
one
the
camera.
scene with camera on one person, flip it around, do it
Exactly.
again. It's
The
worth
only
it.
the only issue is filming it in order or filming it in parts and here and there. Then
Right.
you know, you could do either way.
Yeah.
You just gotta remember what you're wearing or how your
Yeah.
beard is or what your hair is like. You
See-
can't film like the intro and then go and film the end of the movie.
Shape.
And then you're filming the next scene that comes right after the first scene, and you
Yeah.
don't have a beard because you shaved it before you came to work today.
Where am I? Yeah. What's
You know?
this? Yeah.
So-
No, you're right. And it just takes patience and the willpower and imagination. I
Yeah.
have the imagination.
And I can only imagine that you are 100% a superhero to your son.
I try to be. I
You
really
know.
do. I remember not being 6 years old, but I remember when I was a kid.
I remember when I shit myself. I was like in 8th grade.
But we don't talk about that anymore.
Still wearing diapers.
It depends now, right? No, the way he sees the world right now, even when we had to do the stupid masks, which, by the way, he started school, you know, he's in kindergarten now. If he had to take that, you know, the online for his first year, I would have been pissed. Like, how is he supposed to have any social skills?
Oh yeah, that
But-
would have probably
Yeah.
hampered that a lot.
Everything opened up as soon as he started school, so it was great. But the way he sees the world, he's always happy. You know, he sees the world as beautiful. Even when we wear the masks to school, he was always happy, and I want to keep him that way. But that's exactly how I saw the world until I really grew up and saw the world.
Yeah.
You know, but,
Reality's a pretty fucked up, harsh
Fucked up.
thing.
but you know what? Life's too short not to keep wearing a smile and seeing the bright side of things, and I'm trying to keep that
Oh,
in
yeah.
myself, but also show him that it's
Positive.
yeah.
Keep positive.
You know, life. Why be miserable your life? You know, shit happens. Like I'm not where I want to be right now, but I got my son. You know, his two brothers, amazing. I love them, and I would do anything to make sure that they have the best life they can.
Yeah, and see that's the roadblock I hit.
Yeah.
I went from being the happy-go-lucky, the comedic, the guy that was always smiling, and you remember I
Oh,
was
yeah.
always a goofball. I was always that, like, man, he seems to love
Class
what he's
clown.
doing. Oh, bad. It was
Big
bad.
time.
It was bad. Like the show I had a previous episode with Derek Miller, who I
Mhm.
also went to high school with, and we went over. You know, we were talking about stories and how we were just giving our teachers just this is hell. Our counselor was like, "We will never put you in a class together again," and then they did.
Oh.
Like it was an accident, but they did.
Oopsie.
You know, and then we made that. You know, but I wound up having a lot of respect for her just because she dealt with somebody like us. But I was bad. I was pretty bad. But I was always the happy-go-lucky guy. You know, I was always like, man, there's nothing that'll mess up his day. And then I lost my smile. When I got to reality,
Yep.
when I got to the real world after school, that's when like it angered me.
Yeah.
And for years, I was just angry, just miserable. There's nothing I could have done to get me out of this misery. You know, I fell into the whole drug thing. I became an alcoholic, and like I messed myself up.
Yeah.
But then I stopped drinking. Been sober for about 10 years now
Oh,
from
yeah.
alcohol. You know, I stopped. And this is a big one. I actually stopped all drugs. I don't even smoke weed anymore.
Oh shit.
I completely stopped. I know, right? Imagine that. You know, I stopped everything. And when I did that, after I want to say about a week and a half of not even smoking, I just something snapped in my head.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what was I doing? You know, and I would literally smoked every day of my life since I was like 11 years old. So
Of age.
I really didn't. I know, right? Good age to start. I really didn't understand how reality worked
Yeah.
until one, I got out of school and saw and got thrown into the harsh realities of it, and then when I stopped smoking, like my brain slowly faded back into normalcy, and then I was just like, you know what?
You woke up.
What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started watching news and everything, and then I went to a few protests and rallies downtown, which gave me this idea
Mm-hmm.
to do the colonial Renaissance look.
I thought it was Hollister.
I'm sure he was alive back then. I mean, he could have been. He could have been the first nigga to make fat frock coats. I don't know.
So you're on this thing.
Yeah, I know, right? 1840. Damn.
Oh my god.
Pretty sure if I wore this back then, they'd chase me down the street with pitchforks.
Get out.
How dare he dress like us? But you know, I got my smile back,
Good.
and I never thought that could happen. You know, and then once I realized that I could be happy doing something that I like, I got a couple guys together and I'm like, hey, what if I started doing a YouTube show? And here we are.
Yeah.
You know, 6, 7 episodes in, and here we
That's what it
are.
takes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's determination. Sure, yeah, the first couple videos.
You're not recording though.
What? Oh, fuck you. That really hit me. I was like, no.
All right. What were we talking about?
You son of a bitch. That actually got me. You got me. I was like, I can't
I
believe
can go
it.
home now.
Well, scene.
Do it again.
Yeah, right? From the top.
Hey everybody, it's us again.
See, that's like the worst thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the worst thing, but that's got to be like the most demoralizing thing in the world. You're sitting here, you do all this
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
and all of a sudden you're like, I liked it, but from the top. Let's do it again. I don't know. I have anger issues. I don't know how well I could take that. But you know, I'm laughing a lot more. I'm trying to put myself out there a lot more, and sure, I have my own political views on everything, but those are my personal views. You know,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be hated or shunned for it or praised for it in that matter. You know, I don't care
No,
if you
be
like
you.
or hate what I think. It's just how I think.
Just gotta be you.
Right, you know, and if I want to be the weird guy in 2022 that walks around with a frock coat,
I hope you were there outside.
a tri-corner hat, I'm gonna do it.
Now, if I had this get up, I would like go stand on the street out there, just like wave at people or look around like confused.
Right, as long as you're holding an American flag and a musket, I think you'll be okay.
Yes. No, whole
You
get
know?
up, or else it's not happening.
Yeah, it's like I need to wear the whole thing, or it is nothing. That is a part of my contract. Literally, it's every clause. If I can't come into the scene wearing my best,
Right. You fit right into Chi-Town on the Rocks. 'Cause we probably just pull you in like we're wearing suits and you're in yours and like, let's go out, guys.
It's like, look at that. Look,
Right.
What do you know?
No, man, you know, and like I can relate to a lot. Like I had depression for a while too, and sometimes it takes losing a lot to kind of set you up.
Oh, absolutely.
And I tried being. I'm happy now. You know, I am, but
I can't even. I mean, I know how hard it is to lose anything,
yeah.
but I can't even tell you the amount of times that I've failed, and I've just loss after loss after failure after failure. But it's
something
you gotta.
they can't teach you in school.
No, I failed in school a lot too. Yeah,
I failed French, but I mean, bonjour, which means
I failed.
who cares?
lunch. I failed social. No. I failed study room and lunch. Those are my worst classes. That's what happens when you don't show up.
I tripped a lot. I showed you that coming in.
Oh my god, this guy face planted so hard. He tripped over his foot.
Well, who puts flat ground outside?
Oh man, if I had a camera, that would have been on it. Oh,
That was interesting.
too much.
But I didn't use my son as cushion because he wasn't there.
Reasonable.
Reasonable.
Absolutely reasonable.
Works out, yeah.
But yeah,
For the
like
team.
to go back to like the whole depression thing, like that's a serious issue.
Yeah.
And nobody, the way I feel, nobody gives a fuck or wants to talk about it if it's coming from a man. You know what I mean?
Noticed that.
Like it's like, oh, you have depression, suck it up, dude.
Yeah.
You know, don't talk about it.
Yeah,
just,
that happens.
just get over it. That's the one thing that I hear literally the most, and usually from women.
Yeah.
Get over
it.
Just suck it up. Take a deep breath.
I'm
relax.
trying.
It's like, you know, it's like if you don't understand it, then you're not going to understand it.
Yeah.
Period. And like somebody that suffers from pretty bad depression and anxiety, all you can do is power through it. Literally swim through, because depression feels like you're drowning.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost to the point where it really feels like you're drowning. So you just got to swim out of it.
Yeah.
You know, look for the shining light, swim up to the surface, and swim to land. You know, get yourself out of the water and get yourself onto land. Because once you get onto land, you will feel better. And that's the point I'm at right now. I'm on the beach right now, thinking, thank God I don't have to go back into the water. You know,
That's why he's so tan. Come on!
Zing!
Come on!
Tough crowd. I
don't hear anybody laughing. Let's take a call.
You're an asshole.
Can't say that on the show unless you're on the show.
Yeah, right? That would be so cool if we like were able to take calls and do stuff like that. You know what? That's another something to strive for, you know? Like start doing like live shows, you know?
Why not?
If I can start doing like live shows, maybe like once a week, I think I'll be good.
That'd be
you know, I'll be set, you know?
Yeah.
But what I want to do is I want to actually get like a crew here. You know, if I'm going to do a show once a week, like a live show
one, you need that
for about an hour and a half once a week, I'm going to need at least one or two people in the back, and I want to have a co-host, and I want to have... I always want it to be me, the co-host, and the guest. Yeah. You know, at any given point in time, that's how I would want to do it.
That's good.
You know, like...
That way we'd be recording.
This fucking guy. But yeah, you know, and that's the goal. You know, the goal is to just get out there and to get myself out there. You know,
step by step.
That's it. That's it.
Something that you don't realize unless you take those steps. Big time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and the way I always the way I've been explaining this to like my buddy who's financing me, helping me out, you know, in the background, and then you know, I say, I'm moving forward, 100%, and I'm not going to stop, but I'm also taking baby steps because I don't want to overstep something.
Yeah. Because
if I miss something, that experience will be gone forever. That's true. I do not want to miss anything. So if I have to crawl, I'm still moving in the direction I need to move in. And right now, that's what I'm doing. It's baby
the way
steps.
To be right there, yeah.
Baby steps, you know. And I appreciate everybody who comes on the show. I appreciate you for coming on, you know, and having this conversation with me and everything. And it's like, it helps a lot, you know. It's because it's not only is it getting my name out with people you know and your ilk, and and like, you know, but this is also helping you because now, you know, you can promote yourself and that's, you know, and get yourself out there, and, you know, you're welcome to come on anytime you want. It doesn't even matter, you know.
This is fun. I like doing this stuff.
You know, and like I again, I want to make this into a full-time thing eventually.
Yeah.
You know?
You can.
And I'm almost 40, but I don't feel like I'm too late to the game.
No.
I have plenty of life left. I have plenty of energy left. I'm good to go. You're going to be at my funeral in like a week. Watch. God, I hope I didn't just call my own death.
I better learn these keys.
I'm going to learn how to use this program because if this fucker goes, it's over.
I got a week after.
Yeah, right? Knock on wood. I'm going to get yelled at by my producer. Stop knocking on the table! You know, he yelled at me this morning. He goes, I took a look at your video. I like it, but stop knocking on the table. That's like the one thing he tells me every time. Stop knocking. Quit kicking the table. And I got these long-ass Dumbo legs, so it's like I'm always kicking something, or I'm all, you know.
I have to change the name to Stop Knockers.
Yeah, that actually work. Yeah,
remind you. Just knock on wood.
You know, but it's like with this, I want to take this to the point where I can film this, throw in some skits along the way.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
And then see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? They're either gonna like it or they're not. And then once you get to that point, you see what path you got to take. You figure out the path you got to take, and then you move to that direction.
Yeah.
And then if you get to the next
It will
point,
guide you.
and to the next point,
Yeah.
and to the next point, and you just keep going from there.
Yeah.
You know,
Once
and-
you do, you'll be
But you
guided.
just keep going forward.
Yeah.
You know, unless you have to correct something because you insult like one of those baby snowflakes. Accidentally call him a her or her a him.
Jimmy, can we edit that out, please?
I want to make it.
I know your name's not Jimmy. I didn't ask.
My name is Paul. Shut up. Whatever, Steve.
Okay, what I want.
It's Steve with 2 S's.
Steve.
But
Oh
you know,
my
like
gosh.
I fully plan on making this the best I can make it. You know, and that's all you can do.
Well, yeah.
You know,
It
and
won't be
like
made if you don't make it.
exactly.
Right?
Otherwise, it's just an idea.
Yeah.
And if an idea stays in your head,
It gets
it's
boring.
It's it's nothing. You
Yeah,
know,
I know.
it's like fapping to porn all the time. You know, eventually you're gonna want to get laid, right?
Eventually, you switch to cartoons. It's another show.
Kevin, ladies and
Where-
gentlemen, thank you.
Where am I?
If you enjoyed the show, like, subscribe, do your thing, beat it up, beat it off. I don't care what you do.
Press those buttons.
Kevin, plug yourself.
Just follow my Instagram, thedadzi, THEDADZI, and I post everything on there. And especially with my son, you will like those videos. We can't put them here because, I'm a kid or something like that. I'm just drinking my bang.
Bam! All right, have fun, be safe, and as always, wear a condom.